All right, today we're going to do something a little different. We're taking a deep dive into one of those savings and insurance plans for kids. You've probably seen them. We're going to use an official sales brochure as our roadmap to figure out exactly how these things work. You know, from the day you start paying to the day you get the money back. So let's get right into it.
I mean, it's a question every parent or grandparent asks, right? How in the world do you save for a future that's like decades away? You're thinking about college, maybe a wedding, but figuring out how to get from here to there feels pretty complicated. And that's exactly the problem these financial plans are supposed to solve. So the big question is, how do they really work under the hood? Let's find out.
Okay, first things first. Let's talk about the big picture. What is this plan actually supposed to accomplish? So right off the bat, the brochure makes it clear this is not your typical savings account. It's really a hybrid, a two-for-one deal. On one hand, it's about saving up for those huge milestones, think college tuition or helping with a wedding. But on the other hand, it's also got life insurance for the child built right in. So yeah, it's trying to hit two big financial targets with one product. All right, to stop this from being just theory, let's use the exact case study they have in the brochure. It makes everything way easier to follow. So, picture this. We're setting up a plan for a 5-year-old. Our goal, or what they call the sum assured, is 200,000 rupees. Now to reach that goal, we'd pay an annual premium of just under 12,000 rupees, and we do that for the next 20 years. Got it? Let's keep these numbers handy as we go.
Okay, so who can actually get one of these things? What are the ground rules? Let's get into the nitty-gritty of who's eligible.
Well, the rules are pretty simple, actually. You can be a parent or a grandparent, and you can start this for a child who is anywhere from a newborn up to 12 years old. And here's a key detail. No matter when you start it, the plan is always designed to wrap up or mature when the child hits 25. That's a fixed date. And yep, just like in our example, the smallest goal you can aim for is 200,000 rupees. Okay, here's a word you're going to see in the brochure, and it's important. Vesting. So what does that even mean? Well, for most of the plan's life, the parent or grandparent is the one in charge. They're the policy holder. But the moment the child turns 18, bam, the policy legally and automatically shifts over to them. It becomes their contract in their name. It's a really big deal. It's the moment it goes from being your plan for them to being their actual asset. And that brings us to the part everyone really wants to know about, right? The whole money back idea. So how does the money actually come out of this thing, and when? So the way it's set up is pretty clever. It's designed to give you chunks of money right when a young adult might need it most. They call these payouts survival benefits. Kind of a dramatic name, but okay. You get the first one at age 18, then another one at 20, and a third one at 22. After all that, the big final payment happens when they turn 25. So how much are we talking about for those first 3 payments? It's simple. Each one, the one at 18, 20, and 22, is exactly 20% of that original goal amount we set. So if we go back to our example, with a 200,000 rupee goal, that means the child gets a check for 40,000 rupees at each of those ages. Pretty straightforward. You see how it's broken down, right? You've got 3 payments of 20% each. So that's 60% of the total goal paid out during those critical young adult years. The last 40%, that's saved for the big finale at age 25. The whole idea is to deliver the money in stages, not all at once. All right, let's talk about that grand finale. What exactly is in that final payout when the child turns 25? So that final check is more than just the leftover 40%. The brochure says it also includes any bonuses that have built up over the years. And it looks like there are 2 kinds of bonuses you might get. Something called simple reversionary bonuses, which get added along the way, and then maybe, just maybe, a final additional bonus right at the very end. Now, this is probably the most important part about these bonuses. The brochure says they are non-guaranteed. Let that sink in. The 20% payouts, those are locked in. But the bonuses? Nope. They completely depend on how well the insurance company is doing, their profits, their investments. So they could make your final payout way bigger, but they're also the wild card, the uncertain part of the whole deal. Okay, time for the fine print. This is the what if section. What happens if things don't go perfectly? We need to talk about both the safety nets and, well, the potential pitfalls. So this is where that insurance part really comes into play. If the unthinkable happens and the child passes away while the plan is active, the brochure says a death benefit gets paid to the family. And that amount is pretty clearly defined. It's either the full goal amount or 7 times the annual premium, whichever is higher. It's designed to be a financial safety net. But what if you're the one who can't keep up with the payments? This is a really important question. And honestly, the rules are tough. If you stop paying in that first year,
the policy just collapses. It lapses, and any money you put in is gone. Poof! Now, if you make it past that 1-year mark and then stop paying, it becomes a paid-up policy. That means it doesn't just disappear, but the benefits get slashed. And this is huge. It won't earn any more of those potential bonuses. Which leads to another really common question, right? Life gets in the way. What if you just need to pull the plug and get your cash out early? There's a name for that. It's called surrendering the policy. And if you look at the guaranteed surrender value table in the brochure, wow, it shows you just how big the penalty is for bailing out early. And here's why it's so low. In the first few years, a big chunk of your payments isn't even going into savings. It's covering the company's costs, things like setting up the policy and paying commissions. So for our 20-year plan, if you cash out after just 2 years, you're only guaranteed to get 30% of your money back. Even after a full decade, you're only guaranteed about 68%. That is a serious, serious financial hit.
So yeah, that's really the bottom line here, isn't it? The whole system is built to reward finishing the race. If you try to cash out early, especially in the first, say, 10 years, you are almost guaranteed to get back less money than you put in, period. When you read through this whole brochure, one thing becomes crystal clear. This thing is a marathon, not a sprint. Everything about it, the way the payouts are structured, the way the bonuses work, and especially those painful surrender values, it's all screaming one thing. You only get the real value out of this if you see it through all the way to the end. And so that leaves the final question, really. It's for you. We've taken this plan apart piece by piece, from that very first payment to the final check. So now that you see exactly how it works, with its rigid timeline and its trade-offs, you have to ask yourself, does this kind of long-term commitment fit with the future you see for your family? It's a big question, and hopefully now you have a better idea of how to answer it.